Welcome to Bucco Banter on Herald-Standard.com. I'm your host, Rob Burchianti. With me again, Herald-Standard.com sports writer Jonathan Guth. And the Pirates, a pretty good week this past week. John, why don't you give us an update on this team?
The Pirates have really come, they took 2 out of 3 from the Twins and 2 out of 3 from the Tigers. And after Saturday's victory, they were 38-32, which was 6 games over 500. Which
season
is
high,
a season high. And they also were within a nice grab by the left fielder by the Tigers. I forget the guy's name, but from tying that game up, and they lost 3-2 to Verlander. Even though it was a loss, I was very impressed with that. And after that debacle in Baltimore, they won 3 series against Cleveland, Minnesota, and Detroit.
Yeah, you're talking about the after they went 38-32, they did lose on Sunday. But even the games this team is losing now aren't bad. They're facing Justin Verlander. They were down 2-0, and Garrett Jones. It's a game-tying 2-run homer, but then they fell behind 3-2. And you're referring to Josh Harrison, and I can't remember the left fielder either, but they hit a ball,
great catch.
Hit a ball to the wall. They almost tied it up again. But Verlander, it took Justin Verlander to get a series, going a complete game to get the Tigers to get a series or win out of that series. So
I also just wanted to interject on that point, Rob. If the playoffs would have started Sunday, the Pirates would be the last wild card team. So there's something to think about.
There you go. That's how they're doing. Well, that's a question we have right now that I want to ask you, John. Is okay, we're this far in now, 38 and 33 after Sunday, and they have a road trip coming up. It's pretty key, but through Sunday, what's your feeling on this team? Is this team for real? Is this team going to stay in the hunt all year, or is this team going to fall apart like last year's team?
I really believe they're going to stay in the hunt. Maybe I'm like the ultimate optimist, so I don't know, like if we'll be saying the same thing around August. But if the pitching can stay how it is, and as you will have some facts to point out that they have kind of come along with the bats a little bit, and I think they really have a shot. The 500 is definitely, I think this is the year they'll break it. The question is, will they be in the mix? And the way they're playing,
for the playoffs,
and the way they're playing right now, I don't see why not. I really don't see too many teams, besides maybe like a Texas, which luckily they don't have to play, that could really give them fits. Just my opinion.
That they're over. Yeah, it seems like they can hang with just about any team. You're right, and you look in there, and everyone points this out. And their division is not that great. Through Sunday, I think they were 1 game back of Cincinnati, a team that they had actually handled pretty well. They were 1 game ahead of the St. Louis Cardinals. And they have a 4-game road trip, or a 7-game road trip, 4 games at Philadelphia, and that place has been a house of horrors for them. I can't remember the exact stat, but I think they've lost something like 14 of the last 16 in Philadelphia. And then they have 3 games against St. Louis, which is a division rival. So this will be a key road trip coming up. I'd take a split in Philly and whatever you can get in St. Louis after that. 2 out of 3 would be nice.
I agree. For whatever reason, St. Louis is the one team in their division that scares me that they would have to play. Now, Cincinnati is beating other teams, but when they play the Pirates seem like they playing fairly tough. St. Louis, that is a tough matchup on the road, but hey.
Yeah, that'll be a good test for them.
I think that's a great way, and it's kind of ending the month to see after June.
The Pirates have been hitting a lot better lately. I checked the stats through Sunday. They were still at the bottom of the Major League standings in average 28th and runs 29th. But in June alone, they were the 4th in the National League in runs scored. So that's a good positive sign. I got some other positive stats. I'm usually Mr. Pessimist, but let me look. They're 3rd in the National League in road homers through Sunday. And also, you were just talking about winning a series against the Twins and the Tigers and the Indians. They finished up with a 10-8 in interleague play. 10 wins is the most they've ever had in interleague play. So there's another good sign for this team. That's a really good sign.
And the interleague is something that they usually struggle with,
right? And
have pretty much since I can remember. And just the teams that they're, going into Cleveland last year, I believe they were swept.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just something that I think that they can build upon and say, hey, we can. It doesn't matter if we're playing interleague or not. We can play with any team. And,
it gives them some confidence. Yep.
And they're starting to hit the ball. Pedro's, the average is up. I believe he's around 223.
Yep.
Which I know is definitely nowhere near where we want him to be. I would say if he can get around the 250 mark and keep
I'd take that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I know that's a little bit. I'm stretching, but
he could get there if he keeps staying like he's still hot. He's still doing pretty well, and he's still hitting some homers here and there. He's got 13 now, 35 RBI, still doing well. The star of this team, let's not confuse. The star of this team is still Andrew McCutchen. He's like, I think he's about 5th in the league in hitting at 340, and in the All-Star voting he's like 10th. That's a travesty. Because when you look at National League center fielders, he's first in home runs with 13. He was first in RBIs with 45. He's one of the top hitters in the league, and it's just a shame that it's just one of those things. He's in Pittsburgh, and nobody knows about him.
Well, I would, on that point, just in your opinion, fans vote.
Yeah, I mean,
you agree?
Yeah,
with the fan voting.
Yeah, I do agree with the fan voting because they want, let them do what they want to do. And if like I think Jim Leland said, who coaches the Tigers, former Pirate coach, if they start to win and start to get some attention, then McCutchen will get more attention and he'll get more votes and he'll get more notoriety. But right now, he's not getting too much of that.
Well, he's definitely a starter. It's just...
Yeah, he should be a starter. He's definitely going to be on the team, the All-Star team. And who knows, the Pirates might have a couple more, James McDonald.
Yes, and my buddy A.J. Burnett.
A.J. Burnett, yeah. Maybe even Jason Grilli or Joel Hanrahan. So they have some possibilities there. But in pitching-wise, let me just point this out real quick. They're still doing real well in pitching. 3rd overall with a 3.35 ERA. Starters are 3.70, 8th in the major leagues. Relievers are 2.74, 4th in the major leagues. And the Pirates are 31-0 when they're leading after the 7th inning. So a lot of good signs. I don't know.
Good signs.
I'm agreeing with you. I think this team might be for real. I still think they need to bat somewhere, but right now I think they're going to stay in it for the long haul.
I agree, Rob. So we'll have to see how it plays out.
We'll see how they do in this road trip, and we'll talk to you next week on Bucco Banter.